Uh, was I prepared to let those obstacles get in my way? No, because there's more to life. There is a lot more to life. There's a lot more to living than just an existence. So I started to look at, how can I change my quality of life? What is best for me to do to change the quality of life that I'm living currently? So yoga was one of the many tools that I used. And this only started out as 20-minute bedtime regime yoga, done off Netflix on one of the free channels, 20 minutes just to prep you, to slow your mind down, to get you ready for bed. And it really did have an impact on my sleep. It helped me to sleep. So for anyone that does have problems with sleep, that is a very effective means, yoga bedtime regime. I also learned how to introduce myself to self-care. So caring for myself, coming out of addiction, I had a lot of regret and I hated myself, if I'm honest. I hated who I had become. I hated the sacrifices I had made. I hated hurting those I loved most. I hated the hurt I'd caused, the damage I'd caused financially. I hated the fact that I built up a kingdom that I thought was unwreckable, with a house, car, you name it. And I thought I was happy, but that for me was not true happiness. Having come through what I've come through, I'm now able to tell you what true happiness is and what true happiness means to me. I mapped out my whole life story on an A3 flip chart piece of paper, which journaled my youngest memory from the age of 5 right up until the present day, including each and every single trauma event that happened in my life, the age I was when it happened, and how I felt about that in the current state I was in. I was then able to use that to focus on certain areas of my life that kept pulling me back. So, there was sexual abuse, there was violence, there was bullying, there was all these different things. There was addiction that started, and I believe that the addiction truly started as a result of neglect being younger, or as a result of bullying, or, if you take your life and map it out, there's reasons why things happen. And it's not to be too hard on yourself, because I was the most critical person of myself. Always beating myself up, always saying, you should have done this, you should have said that. But that doesn't get us anywhere in life. So I encourage you not to do that. I encourage you to love you, to take care of yourself, and to give yourself time to heal, because we're all extraordinary women who have been through, so much journeys that, people that watch this, I really hope it does touch you and help change you in some way, because life is so precious. And to get from where I was to where I am today took a lot of strength, a lot of courage, and a lot of willingness to get better. Health is not just going to fall on your lap. It was my choice to drop my addiction. It was my choice to want to live a better quality of life. And so I did. I started to attend certain self-development courses when I moved back home after rehabilitation. The first course I attended was called the RAP course. It's the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. I knew I was going to mess that up. And this helped me identify certain triggers in my life, how I felt about traumatic events, what I look like on a good day, how I feel on a good day, and what I look like on a bad day, and things that I need to be mindful of myself. If I see myself going into a path of isolation, it's a no-go. I need to try and get myself out of there as soon as possible, because I know for me, isolation is a trigger. And if I seclude myself from the world, if I don't socialize, if I don't talk about how I'm feeling, that's a massive trigger for me. So in doing the RAP course, I learned that talking about how I felt when I felt that feeling occur to someone that I loved, to someone that I trusted, and that someone that wasn't going to judge me on that thought. Because I always say this, a thought is only as real as a dream. So why is self-care so important? I always recommend self-care. It's the most important, crucial thing for you. The key in the word is self, okay? So it's taking care of yourself, looking after you. And contrary to the world's view on this. Self-care is not selfish. Self-care is much needed therapy that people need to make time for in their lives that don't necessarily do that nowadays. That's why there's so much sickness, so much chronic diseases due to stress induced traumas from a young age. So let's try and break that down then. And what does self-care look like? For me, self-care looks like a warm bubble bath after a long day with candles. Self-care to me looks like treating myself to getting my hair done. I always feel much better after I come out of the hairdressers. Treating myself to a good read. Reading a good book and getting engrossed in something that I love, a good page turner, or going to a culture and absorbing the culture, letting myself be at one with that culture. And that could be tasting the food, watching the locals go by, as I did recently in Budapest. It really opened up my eyes to a life worth living that was way, way, way above the quality of life I was living. It helped me to establish safeguarding techniques, this process. But sometimes, more often than not, we can feel quite low. And it's those times that we feel low, we need to pick me up. So I encourage you to try and find something that you enjoy, that you love, a hobby perhaps, that your long forgotten passion, before you become a mum, before you raised a family, before you got into that job that takes all your energy and sucks the life right out of you. Like, find things that help you to bring you back to you, okay, the true happy person that you should be. It could be colouring in, it could be sketching, it could be reading a book, it could be joining a social meetup near you. Anything that you can do to give yourself the care and love that you deserve and that you need would be recommended. So have a wee think about that after this event. Maybe get a wee piece of paper and jot down things that you love, things that interest you. Perhaps you want to start an art class, or you want to learn how to mosaic, or you want to learn how to garden. There's so much opportunities there for you. You just need to go out and look for them. Okay, through time, I noticed my mental health improved as a result of looking after myself. So when I neglected myself, I wasn't getting any better. Looking after myself improved my health drastically through self-care. Self-care alone is very important. And it has been to my own journey of recovery. It's helped me to increase my overall health and well-being. And it's changed my mindset. Okay, the hardest thing to change is your mind. We have 600,000 thoughts on a daily basis, 400,000 of which are on autopilot. So if you think about yourself being young, learning how to ride a bike, then you inherit that skill set that never goes away, or learning how to swim. You always know how to do that. Or take it to adulthood for those that drive, taking your test for your car, driving your car, getting so comfortable and confident in driving that car that you don't need any help. Those are thoughts that we do on autopilot without even realizing. So for those that drive, they'll get in their car and then they'll be at their destination in 20 minutes and they won't know how they got there. But my journey, please don't be misinformed. Recovery can mean many things to many people. I talk about recovery in the sense of addiction because I have recovered from addiction. However, there's so many traumas out there that can cause or can lead you to have a journey of recovery yourself. It could be past traumas. It could be people that have hurt you. It could be, it could be everything to everyone. Remember, you can never be everything to everyone. You cannot be a mum, a daughter, a partner, a sister. You can't be that to everyone at all times. Where's your time to give back into yourself? Where's your time to get back into your rest? You're rested and recuperated to a point that you're functioning in a good quality of life. I'm not talking about just existing, because that's no quality of life. I'm talking about taking time out to make sure that you who are the most important person is cared for, to enable yourself both to grow, to mature, but also to heal from past hurts and past traumas. So my journey was centered around getting well after I abused my body with drugs for 8 years. However, a journey, as I said, can look quite different to anyone. It could be anything from getting over a life trauma, dealing with an illness, a mental illness, or grieving for a lost loved one. Right? We've all lost someone, and during that process, I'm sure it was very, very hard for us to deal with. And I'm sure coming around that anniversary of that death, you know, situations and memories still bring us back to that place where we remember that person, hopefully fondly. Hopefully we've got enough courage in us to move on and know that that person's well rested. But things like this are really, really important. You know, leave your past in the past, okay? It's there for a reason. It's behind you for a reason. Your only moment you have now is the present, and I'm going to talk a wee bit about that in mindfulness. But first, I'm going to give you some recommendations. So for me, I mentioned, what do I do for self-care? Is get my hair done, getting my nails done, getting a spray tan. I do enjoy that. I really, really did used to like that, like every week. Getting my eyelashes done, you know, spending time with loved ones and family, going to the cinema with my nieces, going out on a long drive in the country. That's really, really nice, and I find that soothing. Spending time with those that love me and whom I love, you know, that's really, really important, to be connected. Just the feeling of connection is really important. To know that you have people watching your back and love you, that's the most important thing. And I never realised how important that was until I came out of the addiction and I had that family support still standing there. Friends and family who supported me the whole way through. Didn't question me, didn't judge me, but were always there to the end. And for that, I will be forever grateful, because that gave me the connection I needed to heal, rather than push me further away into the direction I didn't need to be in. Sometimes we just need to learn to say no. A lot of us have this mentality that, oh, such and such has asked me to do this, I need to do this. No, you don't. If you don't have time to do something, you just simply say, no, I'm busy, sorry, we can rearrange for another time. You know, if your friend, you know, really, really, truly knows you for who you are, they won't have a problem with that. But in this culture, we just have to say yes to everything. And I do it myself. See, even sometimes I have to catch myself and stop and think, no, I need to stop. I'm taking on too much. So some things that I've learned over the course of my wellness journey, okay? So the number one, if the first thing I would say to you is, drugs are never the answer. They never were, they never will be. Simple. Drugs are never the answer. No matter how much pain you're going through, drugs will not help. The feelings that you feel and that you try to mask up will still be there at the end. Okay, so they're not the answer. 2, treat yourself to something that you love once in a while. Okay, it's just the sheer joy of getting something through the mail, even if you order off Amazon or online shopping and opening it and waiting for it. You can't, you're so excited, right? Treat yourself to something you love, you know, because you deserve to. Why would you not deserve to treat yourself to something? Why has all your time, money and effort had to be sown into other people and other things? Why can't you treat yourself? The simple answer is you can. More often than not, we choose not to, and that's a major thing we need to face here and try and get over. Respect yourself as you respect other people. Don't ever think for a second that you would never disrespect someone else, so do not disrespect yourself by putting yourself down, by being critical on yourself, and for never forgiving yourself for past things that happened that you have no control over whatsoever anyway. So sometimes we can be our worst critic. Honestly, our worst critic. I've done it a million times. I often think about the money I once had, and I could have bought this and I could have bought that. But you know what? I was never truly happy with that money, and I could never get enough money to be satisfied. So I suppose that fits in well with our title. Your health is your wealth. It's got absolutely nothing to do with finances at all. Health, as long as you have good health in your life, then you will be happy. You will be happy. You will be able to socialize. You'll be able to do the things that you love, the things that you miss. You'll be able to take care of your families more appropriately, properly. You'll be able to be present and there with them instead of being in a daydream somewhere else thinking about something else that you shouldn't be. And treat yourself the way you treat others. That's a huge thing. You know, you wouldn't disrespect anyone, so don't disrespect yourself. So I'm just going to talk a wee quick bit about mindfulness. So mindfulness is